I gotta say, this has been a good series of questions. I've enjoyed this. I've got a question from Glenn with 2 N's. Can you give me your thoughts on one or more of the following questions? Glenn, you're getting all 3 today, okay? 1, most overvalued lift training methodology used in high school weight training. Most overvalued. Okay, I'm thinking you mean this. What is the thing we put too much time and energy into? One answer, it's the bench press. Bench press, arm work, waste of time. As I've noted on this before, I never program arm work or bench pressing for male athletes anymore because I know they'll do them. And I don't program stretching and ab work for female athletes because I know they'll do them. So, but the most overvalued, I would say, the bench. When people say, well, Dan, you always hate the bench, but it was in all your programs. Yeah, and the bench, the front squat, and a power lift they were absolutely part of every program, because if you're in America and you want to have a happy weight room, you have to have the bench press. So it is kind of it's a dual thought there if you can hang on to both sides of it. The difference between boys and girls in this area. I taught an all-girls class, and I tell you, that was an eye-opener. That's where I really started pushing so I had a bunch of plastic cups in there, and my TA or my interns would fill them half with water, and we did those Turkish get-ups with the weight on the, so if you moved. And God bless them, I love women, my wife, my daughters, my granddaughter, my mother. But how do you say this nicely? Women like to talk to each other in the weight room, pretty much nonstop. They will be pulling a deadlift, maybe even a max deadlift, and turn to their friend and start saying things like, this seems heavier than I thought it would be. And they'll still be pulling. The reason I did the Turkish get-up with the water cup is because if they talked or did something, the water would spill and get all over them. So that quieted them down. For boys, it's that constant peacocking that drives me crazy. But it is interesting that those two things, this is adolescent athletes, I'm sure it changes. And maybe I'm overselling the point. The biggest thing about the female strength athlete, especially in the high school setting, is the amount of volume they can handle doing leg work. You can do things like Bulgarian split squats and front squats and some other leg thing in the same workout, and they'll boom back in 2-3 days and be ready to do it again. When you get to the bench press, you're going to have to throw out all the numbers, because women very often 5 pounds or 2-3 kilos less than their max they can do 10 reps with. So it's kind of that takes a while. So never try to use percentage programs in pressing with female athletes, because it just doesn't work. One thing I will teach you, if you do coach high school boys, is you can never turn your back. This is rude that I'm about to say this, but it's funny. But I think training as a maximum security prison guard is excellent preparation for coaching high school, because it is the same. You never turn your back, because bad things happen. And I joke about it, and then someone will say, "Oh, you know what? One time I answered the phone, and just madness ensued 30 feet from now. When people would come to my room, I would walk backwards, and I'd just walk backwards because my eyes are always forward. So that was the thing. Boys can do stupid things at a clip that is absolutely frightening.